Latvia, one of the Baltic states, which is really worth your visit. Its unique culture, architecture, history, those are the reasons why people decide to visit the country and come back after. In this video, I want to show you several Latvian cities I visited for the last 3 years and give you some more information about their historical places and many more. My name is Anna. I've been living in Latvia for the last 3 years, and if you're interested how I ended up here, please check out this video. Latvia has 5 regions: Kurzeme, Latgale, Vidzeme, Zemgale and Selja. I live in Kurzeme, in a city called Ventspils, but I will not show Ventspils in this video. Maybe I will film a separate video because this city has a special place in my heart. Today I'll show you maybe not the most obvious cities of Latvia. They are close to the city where I live and not very, so let's get started. First place I traveled to living in Latvia was Kolka. This place is really unique because it's the most northern part of Latvia, and it's a place where Baltic Sea meets Riga's Bay, which is also interesting because, for example, the part of Latvia which is near the Riga's Bay, they always have warmer water in the summer, and I think during other seasons as well, but in the summer that's when people usually start to swim and stuff like that. Another part of Latvia where we have Baltic Sea, for example, Ventspils, it's even freezing sometimes during summer, so you have to really get used to this cold water. And going there, actually, we visited another interesting place very close to Ventspils. The place is called Irbene. Now it's a ghost town. However, it used to be a military town. It was built around the secret radar center called Star during the Soviet times for military officers, their families. The interesting fact is that the town wasn't marked on maps, so it was like a spy town or something like that. Now Irbene is a ghost town. However, there is still that center, but now it's called Ventspils International Radio Astronomy Center. Here they have this radio telescope which scientists widely use, up to date. Finally heading to Kolka. As I mentioned before, this place is unique because it's the most northern part of Latvia where Baltic Sea meets Riga Bay. However, another special thing about this place is that that's where the Livonians or Leaves lived. They are Balto-Finnic people that are closely related to Estonians and Finnish. Their mother tongue is Livonian. This language is actually very different from Latvian, that's why Latvians do not actually understand Livonian, but if you go to Kolka, you will actually see many signs in the Livonian language, which is very interesting. Visiting Kolka, don't forget to visit the viewpoint where you can actually see the whole beauty of this place and its landscapes. Another very cozy and beautiful Latvian city is called Kuldiga. And the first time I visited it also was very unexpected. It wasn't the beginning of that COVID pandemic thing, and my husband and I were just tired of sitting at home all the time, and we decided to cycle to Kuldiga. For a minute, Kuldiga, it's around 31 kilometers away from Ventspils, and you could imagine, like, we didn't expect it to take us that long, but well, it seems obvious, but I think we didn't think too much about the decision. We just wanted to get out of our room and go traveling somewhere. We hadn't checked anything on the internet. We just knew that there was this Kuldiga, a small city near Ventspils. I should say that it's even town, like. And how big our surprise was when we arrived to Kuldiga and we came to the city center. How beautiful it was. Oh my god, it left me literally speechless. Those old houses, that widest European waterfall went through really so many historical places in one small city. So let's get closer to that waterfall. In English it's called Venta Rabbit, or in Latvian it's Ventas Rumba. As I mentioned, it's the widest waterfall in Europe, and what we can see above is a Kuldiga brick bridge. It was built in 1874 and now it's the longest operating brick bridge in Europe, which is awesome. But getting back to the waterfall, the interesting thing is about local fish, that it actually jumps, and it's really funny to watch. Go to a different Latvian region, where we've been in Kurzeme, and now we'll go a little bit further, closer to Riga, and it will be a city called Sigulda. I think it would take you around 1 hour to go to Sigulda from Riga, and I would really recommend to visit the city in the fall, because that's when this city is the most beautiful. There are several historical places, castles, etc., and even caves. And the caves biggest in the Baltic. Bridge and the river and all those trees in the fall, they look super picturesque and amazing, so really worth your visit. The river that we can see in the video is called Gauja, and from this bridge over the river we can actually see several historical Sigulda's places. The first place we are heading to is called Gutman's Cave, which, as I mentioned before, the widest and highest, well, biggest in the Baltic countries. It is the oldest tourist attraction in Latvia. The signs and drawings we can see on the walls, they are from the 17th century. Riga castle, meaning Thor's garden in Livonian. The construction of the castle started in 1214. The castle was shaped in the following centuries. Its defensive system was improved. The restoration started in 1976, and now we can luckily visit this place and see how it used to be. Well, at least a part of it. And finally, of course, I couldn't leave you without Riga. As I said before, yeah, it's the biggest and most populated city in Latvia, and I think that it's the most popular destination among tourists, of course. And Riga is such an interesting place, because there you can find really different architecture, starting with Art Nouveau, finishing with some Soviet houses and buildings, so it's really worth your attention. Let's get to the old town. Here we can see Live Square. However, in the 16th century, at this place, there was this river called Riga, and the square was built here only after World War II. The powder tower is a part of the defensive system of Riga, and that's the only part which is left nowadays, and we can still see it in the old town. Riga Cathedral is another very important part of the old town. It was built in 1211, and all the major music events still take place in the cathedral. If you've been looking for one of the biggest collection of Art Nouveau buildings, Riga is a place where you need to come. Almost the third part of all the buildings in the city center are built in this Art Nouveau style. Most architects came from Riga, however, we could clearly observe the foreign influence. It was a pure joy to study those buildings. Thank you for watching this video. I hope you like the places I showed you, and let me know in the comments below if you already visited some of them, or maybe you're going to visit them after watching my video. Thanks again, and see you next time!